Hi all, I'm Alicia, and today I'm going to be doing the Quick to Judge book challenge. This challenge was created by a BookBinge, whose video I will link down below. I was tagged by Read with Laurence, whose video I will also link down below, and I am tagging Laura Reads, whose channel I will link down below. So, this challenge is you pick 5 to 10 books that you have, unread, not sequels, and you read the first paragraph of each, you rank them, and whatever one ranks the first goes on your March TBR or your next month TBR, or it can be the next book you read. So I have 5 books here with me, and I have not read any of them. They are not sequels. I am currently reading Ghost of the Shadow Market by Cassandra Clare in order to prepare for Chain of Iron. That's coming out March 2nd, and I'm so excited. So I'm going to read Chain of Iron, and then whatever book ranks first on this list is going after Chain of Iron for me. So let's just get into it. The first book on my list is This Is How You Lose the Time War by Amal El-Mohtar. I'm so sorry, I'm probably saying that wrong. And Max Gladstone. The first paragraph is, "When red wins, she stands alone." So, not much to go on. That's a very short first paragraph. It's literally a sentence and a very short sentence. I'm assuming red is a person because it's capitalized, and I'm assuming what she wins is the war because that's in the title. And that's all I have to go on. Not much, so let's just move on to the other ones. Again, this book, the premise overall sounds good, but that first paragraph didn't give me much information to go on. The second book on my list is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Brigid Kemmerer. This book, I, again, know the general premise. I know it's like a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, apparently, but that's all I know, so let's just read the first paragraph. Chapter 1 is from the perspective of Wren, and obviously I don't know who that character is yet. "There is blood under my fingernails. I wonder how many of my people I've killed this time." Okay, that is quite intriguing. Wow, okay. Okay, so I'm going to assume, because this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and because this person is killing their own people, is that this person is the beast of the story, and when he transforms, he loses control and murders his own people, and that's why he has blood under his fingernails, because he has, like, claws, and he's killing them, like, with his own bare hands, or paws? I don't know, okay, I don't even know. But that's what I'm going to assume, and this just seems very intriguing to me now, even though it was a very short paragraph. This is going up to number 1 on my list so far. The third book on my list is Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. I know the basic premise of this book. It's about a girl who just graduated from her PhD, and she goes to Las Vegas to celebrate and ends up accidentally married to someone who she doesn't know, which already sounds very intriguing. I love the premise of this book, but let's just check out the first paragraph. Okay, so the first paragraph is actually part of the prologue, not the first chapter. "In Las Vegas, they sell cheap replicas of the love locks from the Parisian Bridge for $25. You can buy them on your way out of a chapel, drunk and giggly and filled with champagne bubbles. There is someone on your arm, a girl whose name you cannot remember, or perhaps never knew." Okay, wow, so the premise of this book is pretty much summed up in the very first paragraph. She's in Las Vegas, and she is stumbling out of a chapel, arm in arm with this girl who she doesn't know, indicating that, yeah, they got married. Okay, well, that is a very interesting premise, but I have to say, I'm more intrigued by A Curse So Dark and Lonely, so this one is going second on my list, and This Is How You Lose the Time War is going to be third so far. The fourth book on my list is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. This book, I know, again, the basic premise, I know it's kind of a boarding school novel, dark academia, there's a murder mystery type thing, but that's all I know. So, the first paragraph of this book is, "Fate came for Dottie Epstein a year earlier in the form of a call to the principal's office." Okay, so overall, this first line isn't that exciting. Really doesn't tell you anything about the book, but it does come after this, like, really weird, creepy letter from the murderer, I'm assuming. So, yeah, I mean, the letter itself is pretty intriguing. I don't know if I should count that as a first paragraph, because it's not really a paragraph, but I'm going to put this at the bottom of my list, just because a girl being called to the principal's office isn't that exciting. So yeah, this is going at the bottom of my list so far. The fifth and final book on my list is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. This is the first of a trilogy. I'm sure everyone has heard about it because there is a Netflix adaptation happening in April. I think it's being released. And yeah, so I actually want to read this trilogy before that show comes out, which is why it's included in this video, and I will be hopefully reading the entire trilogy before April 23rd. So yeah, let's just get into the first paragraph. The first chapter, we have a title called Before, so I don't know if this is supposed to be a prologue or if it's actually chapter 1. The servants called them Malachi, little ghosts, because they were the smallest and the youngest, and because they haunted the Duke's house like giggling phantoms, darting in and out of rooms, hiding in cupboards to eavesdrop, sneaking into the kitchen to steal the last of the summer peaches. Okay, so this is really interesting. I don't know if these ghosts are like harmless or not, if there's different types of ghosts. I mean, they seem pretty harmless. They're like giggling, they're stealing peaches. So, I don't know. It's kind of cute. I'm going to put this. I'm going to put this as third. Okay, so that was my list. Overall, this was my ranking. My pile is not straight at all, but you can see I have A Curse So Dark and Lonely, Honey Girl, Shadow and Bone, This Is How You Lose the Time War, and Truly Devious. So the book that ranked first on my list is A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and I'm so excited to read this book. I've heard great things about the trilogy. I am also excited to read the other 4 books that were on my list. I will likely get to those in March as well, maybe a few of them in April. But yeah, so I figured to end off this video, I would just read the first page of this book, kind of expand what I've already read from it, which is only, 2 sentences, because the paragraphs in this, honestly, for all of these books, the paragraphs were pretty short. So yeah, let's just read the first page. There is blood under my fingernails. I wonder how many of my people I've killed this time. I thrust my hands into the barrel beside the stables. The ice-cold water bites at my skin, but the blood clings. I shouldn't bother, because it will all be gone in an hour anyway, but I hate this. The blood, the not knowing. Hooves ring against the cobblestones somewhere behind me, followed by the jingle of a horse's bridle. I don't need to look. My guard commander always follows at a safe distance until the transition is complete. Guard commander, as if Gray has men left to command, as if he didn't earn this title by default. I swipe the water from my hands and turn. Gray stands a few yards back, holding the reins of Ironheart, the fastest horse in the stables. The animal's blowing hard, its chest and flanks damp with sweat despite the early morning chill. Okay, so I think I was kind of on the right track, where he's a beast, he transforms, and he can't control it, and he ends up killing his own men. And from the sounds of it, he's killed, his own guards. And yeah, that is really interesting. And yeah, I think I'm so excited to start this, probably in a couple weeks after, again, I finished Ghost of the Shadow Market and Chain of Iron, which I will hopefully be doing book talks on as well. That is it for today. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next time with another video. Thanks, guys. Bye.